So a big influence on this chapbook is a poet called, his name is Hanif Abdurraqib, and he writes about music a lot, and he's a big reason why I can write about music in this way. I also sing for a band called Emelda. We're not apologists. I hate that I have to keep explaining this, but yeah, the first time I heard Hanif Abdurraqib and I got into his work, he was writing a poem about Fall Out Boy and Pete Wentz, and I was like, wow, you can do this? Okay, I didn't know you could do this, so I'll just do the same thing. So this poem is about, sort of about the front man of Rage Against the Machine, Zack de la Rocha. So, Ode to Zack de la Rocha, ending in a flood, after Hanif Abdurraqib. The closest thing we had to genocide back then was dengue, when whom we were taught was a good and merciful God would yearly take a star pupil waiting to happen from the batch, and we'd hold morning mass in the covered courts next to the track oval where, depending on the situation, was either the place where the yield of the lone mango tree fell heavy into the dark loam, or the field grown over the bones of priests whose ghosts would still hover through the grass, which I assume is still trimmed regularly. I called it mosquito country then, the way middle-class teenage boys fumble through the broken glass forest of language to catch the face of cleverness. We spent summers growing our hair as long as we could, carving rap rock eulogies from the stone of distant grief for students whose names we've since forgotten, in the run-down studio down the road, the one next to the bong store, palace of glass, shatter, shatter, and there are as many broken windows now as there are stars in the sky. And we knew that fascists had to be trampled. We coins in the gutter, we particles in the exhaust, we underage as anything. Nobody said shit about digital clout. Nobody said shit about state bloggers. You didn't say anything about this, Zack, you alternative classroom testing me vicious. I've poured how many jugs of water on this dismembered bull since I was a boy. And I still can't name all the dynasties. And I'd ask you to bomb track scorch the earth and blast the despot's body out the dirt, but I don't know if you can do that. And I don't know if that's the right thing to want after all the history textbooks, all the rap rock now coalescing into some nebulous sense of morality. What good does it do? I don't know. And I don't mean to say we may as well build our cemeteries on the sea if all these epitaphs are being written on water, but if the heart takes the shape of its container, then the ditch of this year has been turning anthems into dirges, so I'll make the dirges myself. Fill them with gasoline. Someone I loved once asked me regarding old journalistic work what the difference was between covering a rally and being part of a rally, to which I was like, well, it's not like I was screaming too. I want to wake up from the slumber of dogma, wake up in sweat colder than the Canadian snow so many families flee for to impress angels into, wake up to the footfalls of friends marching into a future which may or may not involve me, wake up to the stampede of rainfall and water rising and soaking the bed sheets, submerging the enclosures I've built until all rhetoric dissolves into anaphora. Thank you.